Blessed be everyone. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we are going to talk about magic and happiness. I want to talk about how magic can certainly contribute to your happiness and also some of the pitfalls that you can fall into with regards to happiness too, because there's ways of seeing things and viewing things that can actually help you manage your happiness, where magic sometimes can't work. So we'll talk about those. But before we dive in, I'm Sandra from MysteryWitchSchool.com, author of Crafting Your Wiccan Path. And if you want to know more about Wicca and witchcraft, magic, tarot and shadow work, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you don't miss any videos. If you want to know where to start your witchcraft practice but you're not sure of what you want to learn, what you can learn, and how to pace yourself along the way, I have a free video called How to Start Your Witchcraft Practice. There's a link in the description field below this video. And if you want to find out more information about Mystery Witch School, you can go onto my website, MysteryWitchSchool.com, where you can find out more about what I do. You can find the other courses that I have on there, how you can work with me one-on-one, as well as find links to some really cool products on Amazon that you might be interested in. So today, let's get on to the theme of magic and happiness. I'll start with all the good stuff first. Magic can certainly bring more happiness into your life, because what magic can do is it can help you feel more empowered. You know, when you know that you have the ability to be able to create your life the way you would like to create it, that it's like you're creating a movie or you're creating a video game, that life is a bit like a simulation, it's a bit like a hologram, and that you have quite a large ability to be able to influence it in a way that you would like to influence it. So magic gives you those possibilities, so it can be very empowering to be able to use magic and know that it's there. And that can help you feel more confident about your life, to feel that, hey, you know, I can make changes in my life. I don't have to be a jellyfish just swimming around in the ocean being knocked about by the tides. I can have some direction in life, and I can learn how to focus my mind, focus my intention, focus my imagination and feeling on creating what it is that I want to create in my life. Another way that magic can bring more happiness into your life is that connection. In witchcraft particularly, we work a lot with nature, and so connecting to nature, connecting to the plants, connecting to the elements, connecting to animals, we're connecting to other life forms, beings on other dimensions. There's a sense of connection, a sense that you're not isolated, that you're actually a part of something bigger than yourself, something that you can have an influence over. And so that connection can really bring a sense of completedness to your life. It can also bring a sense of more knowledge and gnosis in your life as well. Again, it can be empowering to know that everything is connected. The third way that magic can bring happiness into your life is being able to manifest positive change, to be able to change a situation from something that may be negative to something that is positive, bringing in positive results, things that can bring in more joy and more happiness. Learning how to manifest. And with manifestation, it's not just about getting an end result in the real world. Manifestation requires that you actually change your internal dialogue, that you change how you feel. So it actually means that you have to feel a certain way in order to get a certain result. So you're learning how to change the way you think and change the way you feel, so that you're going to feel more energized, feel happier, feel more joy, because you're using those emotions to bring in what it is that you're wanting to bring into your life. The other way that magic can bring in more happiness, or number 4, is having more of a sense of mindfulness. When you practice magic, you will probably start learning to meditate, because you need to learn to be able to focus your imagination on what it is that you're wanting to achieve. And when you're focusing your imagination on what it is you want, as if you already have it, then you're going to feel good feeling into that. You're going to feel good enjoying that moment where you are living the life you want to live and doing the things you want to do, having the things you want to have. And that can it literally will bring your stress levels down, because the subconscious mind does not know the difference between what's real and what's imagined. So when you're bringing in an imagined scenario of the life you want to be living, as if you're living it, you'll notice your body will start to calm down. If there's any anxiety in your body, it'll calm down. Your nervous system will calm down, because your subconscious mind, which is controlling your nervous system, is going to be focused on something much more pleasant and not on something that creates anxiety. And the 5th way that it can bring more happiness into your life is that you're most likely going to go out there and look for other people who are also practitioners of magic or witchcraft, whether that's online or whether that is physically in your own location. You're going to be looking for those people and making contact with them, hopefully. And so that can bring in that sense of community, that, you know, you're not the only person that is experiencing what you're experiencing, or, you know, wanting what it is that you want. You've got other people to be able to share these things with. So it can bring in a lot more sense of community, that you're not alone, and that brings in more happiness, because we're social beings and it's part of our nature to want to be connected with other people of like mind. So that can happen too when you join a magical community, or just communicate with other magical people, even if it's just joining in on YouTube lives and joining in on a chat. You'll know that you're part of community because there's other people on the chat with you. So they're the ways that magic can be very positive for you and bring that happiness into your life. But one of the major things that you need to know about happiness itself is that a lot of it is created in the mind itself. And it's how we perceive situations and how we think about things, what we believe about things, that affects how we feel. So when we have more control over what we believe, or we have more control over what we think, we will have more control over our emotions and the ability to be able to be happier and more joyful, no matter what is actually going on. So it requires us to be different in the way that we approach life and in the way that we see things. One of the major things that can be a hindrance to happiness is that you believe that in order to be happy, something has to be different in your life. You know, I'll be happy when I get that promotion. I'll be happy when I get that car. I'll be happy when I move house. I'll be happy when this happens, when that happens, when the other thing happens. Those things are really faulty ways of thinking, because you're always needing something else to make you happy that you don't actually have in the moment. And the truth is, we only ever have the now. We can only live in the now. We can't live in the future. So we have to find ways of being happy now, not when we get the job, not when we get the car, the boyfriend, girlfriend, not when we get those things. How do we be happy now? So get over the belief that the only way you're going to be happy is if things in your life are going to be different in some way, because that's not going to bring happiness into the now. The problem with waiting for another time in the future, like you're living in the future, is another problem too when it comes to being able to learn how to be happy and joyful right away. So waiting for another time in the future, which you believe is somehow going to be better than it is now, and waiting for it and waiting, it's not going to bring happiness. It's like you're always waiting for it. And from a magical point of view, it's probably not going to come either, because you're focusing on it as if it is in the future. So it will most likely remain in the future. So if you believe that when I finally get this promotion, or I finally get, that proposal, or I finally get this, or I finally get that, then I'm going to be happy. No. Another reason for that is the ego always finds things to not be happy about, and it always finds more and more and more of what it wants. So you'll get one thing, enjoy it for a couple of days, and then your ego is going to be ready to want something else, and then you're not going to be happy until you get that. You'll enjoy it for a few days, and then you're going to get restless again and want something else, and you're going to end up in this perpetual pattern of, I'm not happy because I don't have everything I want yet. So while you can use magic to certainly help you get the things that you want, it's learning to be in the moment, right here, right now, as if you already have those things, living your life as it is now, and finding what you have now in your life to be happy about. And that can be what you already do have, so being grateful for what you have. These are the ways that you can start bringing the things you want to you and having the life you want to have, but at the same time being happy now, rather than postponing your happiness until you get what it is that you're working on or wanting in the future. So the first way to do that is to surrender to what is now. No matter what it is, just let it go. Just surrender to how things are in 3D reality. Just accept it. It's not going to cause a problem if you just accept as it is now. It's just a way of releasing that resistance to it, which is what's causing the emotional discomfort in the first place. So surrender to what is. And then, don't believe everything monkey mind is telling you either. Don't believe what your thoughts may be telling you about your present situation. There could be a lot of beliefs there that aren't necessarily true as well. So just be the observer in your life and observe your mind and what your mind is telling you. You can even write it down, all of the thoughts that you're thinking, and just look at those thoughts and be the mystic in your life and say, well, who is thinking those thoughts? And the answer to that is, I am thinking those thoughts. And then ask the question, who am I? Who am I? And the answer to that question is, I am that I am. I am. And when you focus on the I am, you're starting to clear away some of that attachment to being the victim or being in this current situation and feeling helpless about it. You're starting to tap into your divine nature, your godness, your divinity when you say I am that I am. And when you do that, and then you start looking around and you start being grateful for what you actually have now as the I am, you're starting to step back into a magical practice then. And from there, you're able to be more in the present moment and take back your power. It's really important at this point to let go of the past, to not carry the past with you. The past is like heavy baggage that is weighing on your shoulders, and it's important to let it go. No matter what's happened in the past, to let that go and be in the past where it is, because it has no place in the present moment, and it certainly isn't going to help bring in more happiness. Another thing to do that's important before you try to do any magical work to bring in the things you want to bring in is to learn to be easy on yourself, learn to forgive yourself. A lot of the time we don't allow ourselves to enjoy life or even manifest the things we want to manifest because we're holding ourselves to account over something, and you might not even be consciously aware of it, but you may need to forgive yourself for things that you think you've done in the past or that you think are wrong in some way. You have to learn to forgive yourself and accept yourself step in your divinity, learn from the past, and then move on from there. And then get clear about what you really want. If your current situation is causing uncomfortable feelings, what is it that you want then? What do you want to have? What do you want to be experiencing instead? And use your imagination to put yourself in that experience as if you are already experiencing it. Knowing that things are always working out for me. That whatever I'm experiencing now, it's a stepping stone to what I truly want. And then allowing yourself to be inspired by any creative ideas or anything that happens that starts to bring you closer towards that goal. So writing down some creative ideas. What could you do next to bring you closer to what it is that you actually want? So going through that process is really a way of making your magic more powerful and to bring in more happiness in the moment, so that you're not just there waiting for it to happen and waiting to be happy. You're being happy and more joyful now as you wait for those things to come into your life. And if you are practicing joy in the moment as if the wish has already been fulfilled, accepting the 3D reality as it is, then you will find that what it is you're doing your magic for is actually going to come a lot faster than what it may come if you were wallowing in the I'm not going to be happy until I get it way of thinking. So there's a lot of tips there. There's about 5 different ways that magic can certainly bring more happiness into your life, and then there's about 7 tips there for how you can utilize your mind and your thinking to bring in the happiness into the now, as well as use that energy to put into your magic when you are doing your spell work. So if you do want to learn Wicca and witchcraft with me, I have a course called Mystery Witch School or 101 Academy. In that course you will learn to tap into your magical self. You will learn to tap into your connected divine self and become the confident witch that you know yourself to be deep down inside. You'll be practicing the craft every day, learning meditation. There's a lot of guided meditations there. There's energy work, spell work, connecting to the lunar energies, connecting to the wheel of the year, working with various different deities, and practicing Wicca and witchcraft every day. It's a very eclectic version of Wicca, so that you can actually step into who you truly are and be that empowered you that you know yourself to be, and clear away all of the things that are stopping you from living your life in the way you want to live it, living your life connected to nature, connected to yourself, and connected to the spirit of life around you, and creating that life of joy and peace and that sense of taking back your power, that spiritual sovereignty that has been missing for a long time because of our spiritual heritage in Western culture anyway. So that's the Mystery Witch School 101 Academy. Take a look at that if you're ready to start to walk the witch's path with joy and happiness. If you like the video, hit the like button, share it with your friends. Don't forget to subscribe. I am Sandra from mysterywitchschool.com. Blessed be.